Donald Trump just exposed large government programs and the costs that come with them, and you won't believe what you are about to hear. During Trump's talk at the Future Investment Initiative Summit, he covered various topics, including some of the different ways that the government has been wasting taxpayers' money through the U.S. aid program, which was originally started to take a more organized approach to foreign aid. Some of the original goals were to combat poverty, advance educational opportunities, and address global health issues. However, over time, the agency have turned to increasingly lenient spending on causes that aren't what most people would consider to be priorities. Trump highlighted the following list: $2 million for sex change operations in Guatemala, $20 million for Sesame Street performances in Iraq, $101 million for 29 DEI contracts at the Department of Education, $520 million for a consultant on ESG investments in Africa, $42 million for social and behavior changes in Uganda, $10 million for Mozambique medical male circumcisions, $21 million for voter turnout in India, and $100 million for condoms in Palestine.
And here are just a few examples of where your money was going before I came along. These are just some of the, just taken at random. Oh, there are much worse examples than this. I was just looking at them before the speech, and I can tell you they were much worse. And there are some that are horrible, but I don't want to really say them because they're very, very embarrassing to people. Very, very embarrassing. But just some taken at random. $2 million for sex change operations in Guatemala. $20 million for Sesame Street performances in Iraq. $20 million, that's a lot of money. You know, I know what it costs to do those things. You get a cast over for $50,000. Give them a couple of bucks tip. That's it, not 20 million. 20 million, that's Gone with the Wind on steroids. $101 million for 29 diversity, equity, and inclusion contracts at the Department of Education. Wow. And we've canceled all of these, saved all of this money. And again, this is just a small sample. This could go on, I could read them all day. $520 million for a consultant. I want to know, who is that consultant? To do ESG, that's environmental, social, and governance investments in Africa. $25 million to promote biodiversity conservation and illicit livelihoods by developing socially responsible behavior in Colombia. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that even means. None of this stuff, everyone's trying to figure out, what the hell does it all mean? $42 million for social and behavior changes in Uganda. 40 million's a lot of newspaper ads in Uganda. $70 million for research of evidence-based solutions for development challenges. $10 million for Mozambique medical male circumcision. What does that mean? And $21 million for voter turnout in India. What do we need to spend $21 million for voter turnout in India? $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. We need voter confidence too when you read this list. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $2.5 million for inclusive democracies in South Africa. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well. We don't need to give them money. And in another program, $50 million plus another $50 million for condoms for Hamas. You know about that? $100 million for condoms. Condoms. Does everybody know what a condom is? For Hamas, $100 million.
Along with these and other seemingly wasteful examples of government spending, Donald Trump also highlighted how poorly financial expenses were being tracked and managed. Trump went on to point out that 3.5 million people between the ages of 140 and 149 years old are registered to collect Social Security payments, as well as over 130,000 over the age of 160 years old, over 1,000 people between the ages of 220 and 229, one person between the ages of 240 and 249, and finally one person at the age of 360, making them almost 110 years older than America itself. Of course, these numbers do not reflect reality, as the oldest documented person currently is 116 years old.
We're also finding tremendous abuse, waste, and fraud in Social Security. Social Security is what's happening there is going to be one of the great potential scandals in history. Now, the all-time record, I heard, is a woman who was 127 years old. That's the record. A woman from a certain country where they have actually people that live pretty long, actually. And she was 127 years old. That's pretty old, but we're topping her by millions of people. 3.5 million people from the age 140 to 149 years old. 1.3 million people are on Social Security from the age 150 to 159. And over 130,000 people are on Social Security over the age of 160 years old, okay? Including 1,039 people, think of it, over 1,000 people between the ages of 220 to 229. And one person between the age of 240 years old to 249. And the record topper, there is one person on Social Security who's 360 years old, which is approximately 110 years older than our country. So what we're trying to find out, and what we will find out, is are people being paid from all of these, somebody pocketing 10,000 here, 10,000 there, what's going on? So we'll find that out pretty easily because we have a lot of computer geniuses. I said to Elon, who are these people that are doing this, the Doge people? I said, who are they? Where do they come from? He said, well, number one, they love our country. Number two, they're really genius at computers. So nobody's going to fool them. When they go in, they see some bureaucrat that's scamming the country, and they try and talk about, certain computer language. These people say, no, it doesn't work that way. These are people that have a natural ability.
These are just some of the things that have been found by Elon Musk's Doge team that have been working to cut back on government spending. Going forward, it will be interesting to see what else will be found and exposed, as well as who exactly has been proposing these ideas in the first place and receiving the funding for the projects. Let us know what you think about these uses of taxpayers' money and whether this was something you expected or not in the comments section below. Remember to like and subscribe for more content from us.